everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I created this red eye look. My mom last night challenged me into creating an eye look that had a red shadow as the all over lid color. So I told her challenge accepted and I sat down and filmed it today, and this is what I came up with. So be sure and thank her down below for this video, because if it wasn't for her I honestly don't know what I would have filmed. But this one is for you, Mom. I love you. So if you want to learn how to create this look, then just keep on watching. Okay, our main focus today is going to be on our eyes. I know I'm looking a little crazy. I've got some acne going on and stuff like that. It's like once I turned 20 years old, I just started breaking out with acne like you wouldn't believe. And then, of course, I did what you shouldn't be doing and picking at it. So I've got like acne scars all over and stuff like that. So we're just going to ignore that, pretend it doesn't exist, and we are going to go ahead and start by priming our eyes with concealer. This is the Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm just going to put it all over my eyelids and blend it in. I personally like to just dot it on my eyes, and then I like to blend it out with my fingers. You can use an eye primer if you want, but I personally just like using concealer. You don't have to be really precise with it. I'm not. I just like get it on there and call it a day. To set that down, we are going to use some translucent powder. I'm just using the Beauty Bakerie Flower Setting Powder. So I'm just gonna dab into that. What are my cats doing? In today's video, to create our look, we are going to use the Jaclyn Vault Collection Ring the Alarm palette. And we are going to be using this red shade all over our eyelids. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do it or what I'm gonna do, so we're just gonna wing it and hope for the best. In this palette we don't get many matte shades or like transition-y shades, so I guess just gonna use all the mattes that we can and then hope for the best. So the first shade I'm going to go into is this one right here. It's this the lightest orange shade, and it's called Rush. I'm going to dip my fluffy brush into that, tap off the excess, and then put that in my crease. I'm just going to run that through and blend it using circular motions but also windshield wiper motions at the same time. If you hear any weird noises, again, it's probably my cats, because they're in a very playful mood today. So I'm just going to build this up to the intensity that I want. How are you guys doing today? I'm doing good. As you can tell, I am a little bit tanner than I was in my last video. I went on a cruise with my boyfriend's family and got lots of sun. We went to Mexico and I even got sunburned, which I never sunburn, so that was an interesting surprise. The trip was really fun. I enjoyed myself. Like I said, got lots of sun, a little sunburned. I came back, well, the second day on the cruise I tried putting on my makeup and foundation because it was formal night to dinner, and I literally had a ghost face and like a tan neck and body, and I was like, oh my god, freaking out. So I was like trying to bronze it and everything because I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't like go to the store and buy new foundation because we were in the middle of the ocean. I had to wait till I came back, and even then I waited like 2 days to buy foundation, and then I got it and it was like the wrong shade. It's a little bit too dark, so now I have to mix my foundations, which you'll see later. But yeah, I can like never have the right shade of foundation lately, and I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I'm just lazy, but I gotta return it and get a shade, one shade lighter. That's all. So at least it's not like too crazy. I can work with it, but you'll see later. I don't want to go too orange, so next I'm going to go into this shade right here. This is called Mugshot. It is kind of like an orange, but kind of like a brownie orange. I don't know. I'm not that good at explaining things. So I'm going to take a slightly less dense brush, and I'm going to tap into that, run that through my crease as well, but lower in the crease than what we've been doing. I'm only going to take a little bit of this because, like I said, it is still orange. And I really don't want it to be like too orange. Again, I'm just blending this out using back and forth motions, but also kind of circling it a little bit. And I am like going straight into the crease, like here, as low as possible, and then like kind of putting pressure to like dig my brush into my crease a little bit so it's not like diffusing out. Just slightly putting pressure to make sure I get in that crease and nowhere else. Okay, with the same brush, I am going to go into this shade right here. This is called Framed. I'm just going to do the same technique. I'm going to get a little bit on my brush, tap off the excess, and then raise my eyebrows a little bit and go straight into that crease. I'm going to put some pressure so I can like get it in the crease only and not really diffuse it out. And then I'm just going to blend it. You don't want to put too much pressure because you don't want to like poke your eye out, but you also don't want it to like go up here towards your brow bone. So you just want to slightly put pressure. Just wanted to let you know that I do like the Vault collection. I didn't like the original. Okay, let me backtrack. I purchased it, got it in the mail, and tried it out on camera for the first time. Those videos are awful, so they have been deleted. Never gonna use them. But my first impressions were not the greatest. Almost all of the palettes were very patchy. The shimmers weren't that great, stuff like that. So I did contact customer service and I asked for a replacement. So they did send me a replacement, and these ones work really well. I do like the second batch that I got. I think the shade stories are really nice. They complement each other, and obviously if you have the whole collection you can like mix and match in each palette, but I wanted to keep this video to one palette in case this is the only one you have, or if you're looking into buying one out of all four of them, then you could recreate this look with just this one. Because sometimes it gets annoying, like if you have, or if you're using multiple palettes, you're trying to recreate a look, because then you feel like you have to buy all of the palettes the person's using. So I wanted to challenge myself and only use one palette to create a look, and thanks to my mom, she asked for me to create a look with the red shade all over my lid. And I never use red all over the lid. Like I'll probably use, I'll use it sometimes as like a transition shade, but I've never ever used it all over the lid. I know in my last video I used it like on a third of my lid, and I've done that before, but never like my main color, you know what I mean? So this is an interesting challenge to say the least. Hopefully it turns out good, because if not, don't recreate the look. But I'm sure it's going to turn out fine. My mom loves to challenge me. I was texting her last night and I was like, I don't know what to do. I need to film because I want to film, but like I don't know what looks to do and stuff. And she was like, oh, I really want to know how to use the red shade all over my legs. I don't think I'm doing it right. And I'm like, Mom, I'm sure you're doing fine. But this is probably more extensive than she would ever do, so I don't know if she's going to recreate this look. But I told her to try to keep it as simple as possible because she really wants to know how to create this look. So this look goes out to you, Mom. I love you. I don't know if you can tell, but I've been trying to blend this out. There's like this weird line in my crease where I put the purple shade. I don't know if you can tell, but it's happened on both of my eyes, and that's never really happened with this palette before. I have used that shade plenty of times. I've been like trying to buff it out, but I'm not really sure why that's happening, because that's never happened before. Maybe if I use other colors and work some magic, it might come out. Okay, now I'm going to go back into Rush, which is our first orange shade we used, and I'm just going to try and blend this out, bring it up a little bit towards the brow bone. Okay, so now I am going to go into the shade right here. It's called Siren. It's a little bit deeper than this one. It's more like brownie, I think. This one is more purpley. None of those words I just said are words, but so we're going to dip into Siren and pack it on that outer corner of my lid. I'm just going to do this for some dimension, build up some contrast, between the red we're going to put on and the other colors. And as you can see, I'm doing my eyes first this time. Thank gosh, I definitely learned my lesson on that one. I love doing my eyes first because then if you like get shadow or anything looks a little crazy, you can always just fix it really easily compared to having like a full face already on. Okay, so I'm just building that up, and I'm also running it in towards my inner corner and through the crease, but I'm keeping it really low onto the lid practically rather than bringing it up. Next, I'm going to go into the brown shade in the palette. This is called Secret. I'm going to take an even smaller flat dome brush. This is the M456. This came in the James Charles brush collection. I'm going to take this. It's just the mini version of the M433 brush, and I'm going to dip into Secret, of course tapping off the excess, and then I'm going to put this strictly in the outer corner. This is just going to deepen the outer corner and then also making it more brown than purple. And then when I have nothing left on the brush, I'm bringing it in towards the inner corner. Okay, so now we are going to put that red shade on. You can go ahead and just put the red shade on as is, like this, on top of everything, or you could do what I'm doing, which is going into concealer, doing kind of like a half cut crease, then packing the eyeshadow on. I just personally think that using a concealer down before putting shadow on makes the shadow pop and stick and last longer, but this is totally optional. You can just go straight in right now, or you can do what I'm doing. I'm just going to go back into the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and then I am going to start in the inner corner. I'm just going to tap it down on my lid. Once I get towards the outer corner where we put all the dark shades, I'm going to stop and then work my way up. I am just kind of tapping and pulling a little bit. Once I get to the crease, I am just going to round it off and make sure the line is even the whole way around my eyelid. Then I'm going to look up and make sure that the concealer is going to stick anywhere my eyelid's going to be open when I'm looking at people. And then I am just going to fill in any missing spots to make it look even. Just gonna drag the concealer out towards the outer corner to blend it. On my index finger, I'm going to rub it into the red shade. So my camera cut off on me, but I just packed that onto my finger and then patted that over the concealer. I'm not really sure where that cut off, but I was just saying that I like to use my finger when it comes to putting glitter shadows down, because I personally think they just apply and look better as far as pigmentation. And don't worry if you can't get like up close. I'm just going to use the brush that we use concealer, pick up some of that red, and then get up into the crease so there's not a harsh line of where that concealer ends. Everything just looks flawless. Now I'm going to catch up on the other eye and then be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to dip back into the brown shade and then pack that onto the outer corner again, overlapping with the red, and this will help blend the two colors together. And then when I have no product left on the brush, I'm going to look up like this and then raise my eyebrows and gently sweep that along the line, and this will help just intensify those colors we put down before. Then I'm going to take our original fluffy brush and then just run over the edge of the crease. Okay, now I'm going to clean up under my eyes, and then we're going to go ahead and start with the face makeup. Okay, so I zoomed you out a little bit, just a little bit, and we are going to go ahead and start on our base makeup. My face is already set to go. We're just going to go straight into our foundation. For my foundation today, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, but I'm also going to be mixing it in with the Estée Lauder Double Wear foundation. This one is a little bit too dark for me right now, so I have to go exchange it for a shade lighter, but I'm going to do that after I film this video, so we're just going to do what we gotta do. And then this one, of course, is way too late because this is the one I was using all winter long and everything before all my tans. I'm going to mix these two shades on the back of my hand and then apply it onto my face. I'm just going to do one pump of each. Then I'm going to take my finger, mix up my little cocktail, then I'm going to dot it all over. I'm going to take my sponge, dip it into the foundation on the back of my hand a little bit, and then go in and blend. I'm going to be careful when I get near my eyeshadow and be very careful not to mess up my sharp line that we created. I'm just going to bounce this all over my face, blend it all together. I'm just going into my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, putting it on in all the places that I want to bring my face forward, and then blending that out. To set the concealer everywhere that I put it, I'm going to use the Ciaté London Extraordinary Translucent Powder. It looks like this, and I honestly love it. It blurs the skin. I always put this over the acne that I have just to, you know, blur it a little bit and make it a little less noticeable. So I'm just going to put it on my sponge and then press it into my skin. If you're more dry, you don't have to do this. You could just use a brush and then just like sweep it over your skin. I am so oily that I find that pressing powder into my skin works a lot better in setting it and controlling my oils. Because I know some of you are going to be like, that's a lot of powder. But trust me, it works wonders, and it's not a lot of powder because it doesn't break me out anymore than if I didn't use this much, you know what I mean? And I'm going to really powder my nose because my nose is the first thing to get oily. And don't worry that we're looking like really powdery right now because we're going to go in some setting spray that is going to fix that problem right up. So I really only put this powder in my T-zone area, which I don't know why, because it's the area that gets the most oily, and this powder doesn't really like help control my oil that much, but it also brightens it a little bit, as you can tell. Next, I'm going to take the Beauty Bakerie flour powder. I purchased this when I ran out of my Laura Mercier powder to give this a try and see if I like it. This is a really fine powder. Like, this a little goes a long way, so I'm just going to put this everywhere that I didn't already put that Ciaté powder, and then kind of bring it up and overlap them, but mostly pack it on where I didn't already powder. And I'm just pressing it into the skin, kind of like how you would if you're blending foundation. Now that we have all this powder on our face, we are going to set our face with some setting spray. Also, because we have eyeshadow on, you don't want to look up or like straight, because as your setting spray is setting, it'll crease your eyeshadow. So always look down while it is setting down. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that word, but while it's drying. Okay, so I do use two setting sprays. The first one I use is the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. I use this because I feel like it really melts powder into my skin and makes it look more flawless. But then also to really set my makeup, I use the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, but I also use the De-Slick one when I'm feeling extra oily. So we're going to finish up the eyes doing the lower lash line. I am going to go into the first orange shade we went into called Rush, and I'm going to mix that in with the second orange shade right here called Mugshot. I'm going to use like a small, almost pencil brush, but still kind of fluffy. This is the M506. I'm just going to mix those, tap off the excess, and then run that through my lower lash line and blowing it out. So I'm just going to drag that a little bit lower than normal, so when we add the other colors you can still see it and it looks like a transition color. Next, I'm going to take a really tiny pencil brush. This is the M431. This would be better for like an inner corner highlight, but it is kind of like comes to a point. So I'm going to take Siren and Frame and mix those two together, tap off the excess of course, and then run that really close to our lash line. We want this to be super close to the lash line and not as blown out as how we did the oranges. And then I'm just going to build that up. Also, we're going to connect it to our outer corner. You want it to be like a continuation from your lower lash line up to your outer corner. We are going to go back into the orange shades and then blend out the bottom. Then we are going to take a really flat brush. This one happens to be angled. I don't know, this is from Coastal Scents number 21. And I'm going to dip into that brown shade called Secret. And we are going to literally run this along right below the bottom lash. We're only going to put that on the outer corner, not go any further in. I would say halfway at the most. For our waterline, I'm not sure. Do I want to do white? Do I want to do black? We'll do white first and then see what it looks like, and then we'll do black, because we can always go over it with black, but once we do black, there's no going back. Okay, I like that with white because it brightens up the eye a little bit more and makes like the shadows pop, in my opinion. I don't know. That's just how I'm feeling right now. So now we are going to go ahead and put the rest of our makeup on and tie this whole look together, and hopefully it starts to look better. I'm going to use like a million different bronzers today. I'm going to start off with the Bahama Mama Bronzer by theBalm Cosmetics. This is just like a really mini version because I got it in Ipsy, so I'm just going to literally take this big fluffy brush. I got this in the James Charles collection. This is the M527 brush. I'm just going to try my best and swirl it all over, and then I'm going to put this up on the forehead. You're going to see why we're using like 10 million different bronzers, because this main bronzer that I don't like on the forehead because it is shimmery. Next, we are going to go into the Ciaté London Bamboo Bronzer. This is also a mini size because I did get it in Ipsy bag. I think I'm going to use a smaller brush on my forehead to get it more precise. Now, my favorite summer bronzer. It is the Tarte Cosmetics Amazonian Clay Bronzer in Park Avenue Princess. This one has some glitters in it, so that is why I don't like using it on the forehead. So, I mean, the glitters aren't bad in this bronzer. I really love it in the summer because it does give you that glow, but I love it more on the cheeks than I do anywhere else. Okay, because we have red on, I'm going to use more of like an orangey blush. This is the Tarte Cosmetics Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the shade Feisty. As you can tell, mine has hit pan. I am just going to take my Morphe E4 brush, and I'm just going to smile a little bit, find the apples of my cheeks, but then also run it back towards my hairline. I'm just going to put a little bit on at first to give me some color, and then I'm going to finish it off after I put on some highlighter. For highlighter today, I'm going to use the Becca Cosmetics Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Champagne Pop. I'm going to take this on my M501 brush. This is honestly one of the best highlighters. Look at that glow. It is so good. As you can see, we are looking a little crazy with the highlight and everything, and I do bring it towards the apples of my cheeks to give me some glow there. So now I'm going to finish off the blush, and this will just help blend those two products together to make it a little bit more natural. So now, because my battery camera is going to die, I'm going to charge it a little bit. While I am gone, I'm going to put on some mascara and some falsies, and then I will be right back. So I decided not to put on any falsies because I like the way my eyes looked with mascara. So now, to complete the look, my lips are dry, so I'm not going to use any lipstick. I am going to go ahead instead and use the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fenty Glow. This was their first shade that they ever came out with, so I'm just going to put this all over my lips to make them look less crusty and more juicy. And then last but not least, to completely finish the look, wait, let me see if I'm missing anything, because my last video I forgot to put on lips. Oh my gosh. But let me see. Put the brows and the highlight. Okay, we're good to go now. I'm going to finish with some Morphe setting spray and then some Urban Decay all-nighter setting spray. Okay, so I decided to put my hair up because it was looking mighty crazy throughout this video, so I decided to put it up when this video is over. I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know what I was thinking, but whatever. That completes this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss one of my uploads, because like I said in my last video, my uploading schedule is all over the place. I don't have a schedule. I should make a schedule, and that will be coming, I hope. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. I don't really know what intensity I want. So the trip was really fun. I enjoyed myself. We had I